What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Buck Discussions podcast, the channel, man. Yo, whatever you want to call it, it is the man J Coop, man, back with another episode of J Coop's Clips. Now, I do know it has been quite some time since the last time we've hopped on here to talk about my Los Angeles Clippers, man. So, hey, man, there's a lot of things that have happened over the past month and a half since the last episode, and I kind of just want to talk about some of the things, you know what I'm saying, that have happened since then. And one of those things is being that Russell Westbrook has become a Los Angeles Clipper. And when it first happened, honestly, I'm not going to lie, I really didn't have too many, expectations or too many thoughts about it. Like, it was just kind of like a shoulder shrug type of move, you know what I'm saying? I was like, he's coming in on a vet minimum. I was just super excited to have a player like Russell Westbrook, someone that I grew up watching and someone that I've actually been a very big fan of. Since I actually got into basketball, to be specific, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like a bittersweet moment. Like, I know his flaws, but at the same time, I know what he can bring to a team, especially alongside a player like Paul George, who he has played with. You know what I'm saying? Paul George had one of his best statistical seasons alongside Russell Westbrook. So I was pretty open to it, but at the same time, like I said, I did see the flaws that came with getting a player like Russell Westbrook, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I feel like any team that picks up Russell Westbrook knows what they're getting with Russell Westbrook, you know what I'm saying? The only team that really didn't seem to know what they were getting were the Los Angeles Lakers that traded a fucking leg and an arm for him, you know what I'm saying? So it was a little different, him coming to the Clippers, because like I did say, he was on a vet minimum, so I was pretty open to it. But I'm not going to lie, the first 5 games he did play with the Los Angeles Clippers, it wasn't looking too good, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't looking too good, and as of March 30th, you know what I'm saying, 2023, the Clippers are 8-8 since acquiring Russell Westbrook, so it isn't really the best record, but it is 500 on the dot, you know what I'm saying? So I can't really complain too much, but I will say those first 5 games, you saw exactly what you expected from Russell Westbrook for the most part. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say it was all his fault that we lost 5 of those games, because that's far from the truth. Paul George had some terrible plays in those 5 games. Kawhi Leonard wasn't, as efficient as you would want him to be. And also we were missing Norman Powell in that short amount of time as well. So there was just multiple different things that kind of, made us lose 5 of those games, the first 5 games that he played. But I will say Russell Westbrook has been very, very productive on this Los Angeles Clippers team, you know what I'm saying? Especially since we got him, after the trade deadline and after the All-Star break, you know what I'm saying? So it's been pretty fun. It's been kind of bittersweet to have Russell Westbrook, but I will say the experience for the most part has been pretty damn fun. I'm not going to lie. And I think we're like 3 or 4 games over 500 right now, sitting at the 5th seed in the Western Conference. So we're not in too bad of a spot, especially considering where we were when we got Russell Westbrook. It's not like we were too far ahead where we are now, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, as of March 30th, 2023, man, we just came off a W against the Memphis Grizzlies, a 141-132 victory. And I will say, Russell Westbrook, this is probably his best game, I'd say, in probably the last 2 years, you know what I'm saying, since he's been on the Washington Wizards. He ended up finishing the game with 36 points, 10 assists, 4 rebounds, and he also had 2 turnovers, which was kind of the biggest thing for me. He cut down those turnovers, and he was shooting lights out. I'm pretty sure he only missed 2 shots the whole night combined. He was shooting 72% from the field in general, and he shot 55% from 3. So, yeah, man. Excuse me, not from 3, from the free throw. So that's something you would like to see him change, is his free throw percentage, is just get that up a little bit. But he shot 100% from 3, which is something you will never ever. This honestly might be his best game, one of his best games of his career when we're talking about specifically his efficiency on the court. All the shots he was taking, he was getting in there, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like Russell Westbrook, man, it's just kind of the Russell Westbrook effect. You're either gonna like some of the things he does on the court, or you're not, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, if you can cut down the turnovers to 2 turnovers while also having 10 assists, that's something any team in the league would like to have, you know what I'm saying? And he also did have 2 blocks. So that's something else to go along with that performance as well, man. Russell Westbrook has just been pretty stellar for the Los Angeles Clippers. I'm not going to lie, man. I'm not going to lie. But the other performances in this Memphis Grizzlies W, is another one I want to take a look at. Is someone that didn't really, his lineup didn't stick out too much, but it's Terrence Mann. He was a plus minus of 18, and he did have the highest plus minus out of any other player in the whole entire game. But he finished the game with 11 points. He also had 3 assists, 1 steal, shooting 33% from the field, which isn't something that's too ideal, but he did shoot 50% from the field in general, and that's just something you really like to see, especially, man, just as your backup point guard, you know what I'm saying? And Terrence Mann, actually, he did start yesterday, though, because we have been missing Kawhi Leonard. He was out due to personal reasons, so he did take the starting spot yesterday, and he was just terrific, you know what I'm saying? There's really not much more I can say about a guy like Terrence Mann who just comes in and plays his role, you know what I'm saying? But the other 2 guys I want to talk about from my Los Angeles Clippers real quick is going to be Robert Covington, who shot 7 of 7 from 3, and he shot 100% from the free throw, 90% from the field, and he was just terrific, you know what I'm saying, to finish the game with 27 points, which was his season high. And he also did have 3 steals, he also had 2 assists, and he also had 4 rebounds on top of that performance. So there's really not much more I can say about a guy like Robert Covington, who's gotten 26 DNPs this season, which is just mind-boggling considering the fact that in the position that we're in right now, where we're only like 4 or 5 games over 500, you want to play a guy like Robert Covington, who's just been super terrific. And that actually leads me to another point I was going to talk about earlier in the video, and that was Marcus Morris being pulled from the starting lineup. I'm not going to get too in depth with it, but I will say Marcus Morris was pulled from the starting lineup, and it is kind of suspicious that the 2 games that he did get pulled from the starting lineup, all of a sudden he has a non-COVID illness, and we haven't even seen him since then on the bench or anything like that. We haven't heard a word from him. So to be completely honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see Marcus Morris the rest of the season, regardless if we go deep in the playoffs or not. I would not plan on seeing Marcus Morris on the team or even in the rotation, just considering the fact that he really has not been a good teammate when it comes to just, you know, taking the initiative to take his new role and just come off the bench, because he's really been jeopardizing the team as of late. I'm not going to lie, just with his poor shooting, poor defense, he's just not a good basketball player. That's the best way to put it. I'm not going to attack him personally or say anything bad about him. He's just not a good basketball player in 2023, which sucks to see, because Marcus Morris has done a lot of good things for this Los Angeles Clippers team, but I think his time is over with the Clippers, and I really wouldn't be surprised if we just bought him out this offseason. We just let another team sign him, just for the simple fact that he really has been a very detrimental player to our lineup this season, and there's probably at least like 8 to 10 wins that we could have had if we just didn't have Marcus Morris in the starting lineup. Like, that's how bad it is. And it's kind of frustrating, you know what I'm saying, just because him and Tyronn Lue have this relationship offside the court, you know what I'm saying, to the point where it makes Tyronn Lue want to start Marcus Morris regardless of how he's playing and regardless of if it's jeopardizing the team or not. So it just sucks to see, you know what I'm saying, especially for a team that had championship hopes, that we got to deal with injuries, then we got to deal with bullshit from the coach where it comes to he has favorites with the other players. It's just a whole mess, you know what I'm saying. It really has not been a fun overall season for the Los Angeles Clippers, but I will say there is one player that we got at the trade deadline that has made this season really, really fun since then, and that is my man Busy Bones. Bones Hyland, man, has been a automatic bucket since he has came to the Clippers. Now, I will say the first couple games he had, he was kind of, you know, a hit or miss, and I'd say over the past month, probably since about early March, he really hasn't got any playing time, especially since when we got Russell Westbrook. That kind of just meant automatically that Bones was kind of completely out of the rotation, because we still have to find minutes for Eric Gordon. We still got to find minutes for Norman Powell. We also got players like Terrence Mann, and then you go in and throw a guy like Bones Hyland in, who just came off of kind of, you know, a suspect, stay with the Nuggets. So it was just kind of like, where the hell are we going to find time for Bones Hyland? But as of lately, since Paul George went down, we've needed another guy to just come in and, you know, chuck up shots, and he's been making them, you know what I'm saying? In this game against the Memphis Grizzlies, he shot 57% from the field, and he shot 66% from the three-point line, and he finished the game with 20 points. He also had 6 assists and 5 rebounds. And I will say, man, Bones Hyland has been probably my favorite Clipper since the trade deadline, just when it comes to the energy he provides on the court. And this even goes with guys like Paul George and Kawhi Leonard playing. Like, there's just no spark out there. It looks like these guys are just getting paid to strictly go out there and hoop. There's no fun involved. They don't, you know, make it. They don't, you know, put any flavor onto it. And that's what my man Bones Hyland, has been doing for this Los Angeles Clippers team. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of talk about his, defensive presence and stuff, and that's very true. But I feel like when Bones actually puts the effort in defensively, that man can make a couple plays on the defensive end. Like last night, he also had a steal and a block to go alongside his 20 points and a 6-assist game. You know what I'm saying? And he does have a long wingspan. He's just a long, lanky player. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we need on the Los Angeles Clippers, is some young athleticism. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's definitely one thing we've been lacking. If you watch the Clippers at all this season, they just look so old and so unathletic. It's honestly ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? But I'm very happy that my man Bones Hyland had a very good performance last night. And honestly, he's had a decent couple performances over the last couple games. I think over the last 3 to 4 games, he's averaging like 15 to 16 points with a couple of he's been doing this thing in the time that he has played. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that kind of resorts me back to Tyronn Lue. You know what I'm saying? I've had a lot of complaints this season about Tyronn Lue, but I will say prayers up to him and his family and all the things that they're dealing with, because I know it can't be easy coaching an NBA team, let alone a basketball team in general. You know what I'm saying? While you're going through something like Tyronn Lue's going through, where I'm not even going to get into it. That's his business, but it definitely sucks to see, and I hope Tyronn Lue can, just I don't want to say brush that stuff off, but just not. I don't know, man. Everyone deals with grief a little differently, so that's really all I'm going to say. Shout out to Tyronn Lue. I don't really like many of the decisions you made this season, but I will say taking Marcus Morris out of the starting lineup was a good decision, regardless if there was only 6 games left in the regular season. But regardless, he did what he had to do, and I definitely respect that, because I know it probably can't be easy having personal relationships with these guys and then having to come to them and be like, yo, man, you kind of fell off. You're going to have to sit your ass down on the bench for the rest of your year. You know what I'm saying? So I know it can't be easy, but Tyronn Lue, man, you got to step up a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? That's really all that's you're going to hear from me, Tyronn. But other than that, man, I really like a job that he's done the past couple years with the Clippers. But this season has just not been a fun season, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? It definitely has not been a fun season. This was supposed to be the most important season in Clippers franchise history. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that we're only like a couple games over 500 and we're sitting at the 5th seed, I think, in the Western Conference, it really has not been a good year. But just got to do with what you got. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm just having fun watching my boy Terrence Mann and my man Bones Hyland on my Los Angeles Clippers. You know what I'm saying? That's really the only thing I could look forward to. But yeah, man, that was a good win we got last night. Definitely pointed in the right direction, especially going into the playoffs, if we hopefully make it, right? Yeah, man, that's pretty much tops off this win, this 141-132 victory by the Los Angeles Clippers against the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, I want to know how you guys are feeling about this game, how you guys are feeling about just the league in general, just the Western Conference. You know what I'm saying? It's really bunched up right now. I think from anywhere from the 4th seed all the way to like the 12th seed, it's like a 2 to 3 game gap, 2 to 3 game difference. So hey, man, it could get real sticky here later down the season. You know what I'm saying? There's only about 6-7 games left for most teams, so it's about to get real, frisky out here. You know what I'm saying? So I want to hear you guys' opinions, how you guys feel about the Western Conference in general below, but I also want to know how you guys feel about my Los Angeles Clippers in this 141-132 victory, man. But it pretty much wraps up this video. If you guys enjoy the video, found it useful, informational in any type of way, make sure you hit it with a thumbs up, man, because it really does help us out over here. And this is just something I love to do. Just sitting down, talking about basketball, talking about what I see in these games. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, that pretty much wraps it up. I appreciate you guys stopping by, and until next time, man, keep bucket discussing, and we'll see you guys next time, man.
In the jungle like I'm Conan, count up with both hands, switch the flow like it was broken. I'm on the road, man, making plays just like DeRozan. I shoot my shot, and that shit wetter than the ocean. I brag a lot, but with the wind and come the boasting. I made a lot from them apartments that I sold, and he didn't make it up to college, so them streets where he enrolled in. I know I'm a scholar from the moments that I was exposed in.